Well, greetings, Business 20 students. Welcome to Business Mathematics at Norco College. My name is Eric Doucette, and I will be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. This is a welcome video, and the purpose of this video is to introduce myself as well as to show you how to log into Canvas and how to navigate around our course. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and here I am on the Norco College homepage, and there I am. Welcome. Glad to have you. I've been full-time at Norco College since 2020, and I started teaching here in 2016. So I am the fifth, I was one of the last ones hired. Me and John Alpay were the last two full-time faculty hired, but glad to have you in my class. Glad to teach business math, one of my favorite subjects. So hopefully you'll find it to be one of your favorites by the time we're done. But I'm going to first show you how to log into Canvas. So basically, if you just go to the Norco College homepage and you select Canvas, it's going to bring you to another page. Now, mine automatically takes me all the way into Canvas, but it's going to open a login page for you. And the login page is basically your email address and then your birth date. That's what's going to be. Your email address is your username, and then your birth date is your password if you've never logged into Canvas before. If you've already logged in, then it's going to be the same as whatever you had set it up for before. And then that's going to bring you to our dashboard, or your dashboard. Now, my dashboard has all kinds of fun stuff on it. Yours will have whatever classes you're taking that require an online folder. And so I'm going to go ahead and select our class right here, Business 20. And that's going to then bring me to our homepage. And this is our homepage. So basically, I created a little table that makes it easy for you to navigate our class, as well as provide some instant resources right at your fingertips. And so if you look at the page, the first thing that you notice is there is an announcements section up here, but because the class has not started yet, there is no announcements, but they'll always be listed at the top of the page, usually 2 of them. Over to the right is a coming up section, and it'll show you what assignments are due, most current assignments due. But be careful not to just depend on that list. You also want to make sure that you go into the modules, and that's what the red circles across the front of the table are. You want to make sure you read all the folders in modules so that you don't miss anything. But this is also a quick way of seeing what's currently due. And then over on the left, of course, you have your menu. That menu is only visible in a computer. If you're using a tablet or a phone, you won't see it that way, but I'll show you how to find it. But this is where you're going to see things like announcements. So if you want to read the announcements, you can click that, or just read the ones at the top of the page. Your grades, you want to keep track of your grades. Modules, that's very important. Getting the textbook as well, that's very important, so you're going to need to select that. Attendance is not required in this class because you're online, so that'll be, all these last 3 I'll turn off so you don't see them, but that's basically the left menu. And then you have the table in the middle. Now, just to go over the table very quickly, you have a syllabus button at the top left, and this is the most current, recent syllabus. If I make any changes or edits to the one, to any of it, it'll be posted here. I know I emailed you all one. For the most part, that's correct, but if I end up making any changes, the newest and most latest one will be right here. You can select that and read it. You can also select that and download it. Right next to that are the 4 modules of the class. This class is broken into 4 2-week modules. It's an 8-week class, so every module is 2 weeks. Every module has two quizzes and 2 homework, 2 quizzes and 2 check-in assignments. Sorry, I was drawing a blank. Check-in assignments, I'll go over that, and quizzes, and then it also has 1 case study for the 2 weeks. So pretty much it's 1 quiz a week, one check-in assignment a week, and then 1 case study for the 2 weeks. And then every 2 modules is an exam. So you have 2 exams in the class, a midterm and a final, and I will go over all that in just a minute. Down the bottom here to the left is the Cengage link. We are using the 9th edition of the Cengage textbook. It's called Consumer Mathematics or something like that, Business Mathematics. And by the way, we're not using any portals or any Cengage website or anything like that. The book is an ebook, and you'll be able to read it right here in Canvas. So you don't need to go anywhere else to read it, and don't pay for any access codes because there's no work done anywhere but in Canvas. All the quizzes, everything is built in Canvas. So all you need is the book. If you want to get a hard copy of the book, great, but even better and even cheaper is just select this link right here. It'll give you the option of registering for the ebook, and then you can read the ebook in Canvas. I think that's the cheapest and easiest route. But you're certainly welcome to get an older book. You're welcome to get an 8th edition. In fact, most of the class is still built around the 8th edition of the book, so you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to rent a book if you like having a hard copy, but you're definitely going to need the book because it explains a lot of the concepts. Now, I go over them all and I explain them too, but sometimes you're going to need to go back to the book and refresh yourself. So anyway, that's the book. Select that to register for the book. You might want to do that right away. There's some course videos, which are also very helpful on each of the different concepts that we'll be covering. These videos are also found on study pages that I've created in modules. And so they're specific to that. The videos in the modules is specific to the content we're covering, where this is just a list of all the chapters. I'll show you. There's just a list of all the chapters, but those are all teaching videos of me trying to work through some of the problems. And I just want to warn you, some of them are really, really bad as far as the quality. And I'm using a finger in one of them to draw on the board because I didn't bring my iPen. I need to redo them at some point, but they're working now. And if you see any problems with any of the videos, please let me know right away so that I can replace them. There's a help button if you need to get a hold of me for any reason. My phone number is in there, my email address. Not only that, but the help desk number, the Canvas number, all that kind of stuff, and email addresses are there. If you need any help whatsoever, all the resources are there to help you. Next to that is a course description button. So if you select that, it gives you a course description. It also gives you a schedule of the courses, schedule for the course. And then to the right of that is a office hours page, and it lists all my office hours for this term, which I have 5 hours in my office hours available. 4 of them are in my office. 1 of them is online. And so take a look at that. If you ever want to meet with me in Zoom or ever want to meet with me in my office, that's how to get a hold of me. And when I'm available, also the link in there to the Zoom room that we'll meet in is in there. So that's pretty much the table. But the main one here is the Start Here button, especially if you're first starting the class. So go ahead and select Start Here. And that's going to bring you to our welcome page. So it gives you a video, a welcome video, and a picture of me. The welcome video is what you're watching now. There's also a bio here if you want to read a little bit about my background and where I've come from. And then there's an explanation of business mathematics. You can read that. This is a 100% online class, so everything is done online and everything is done in Canvas. You don't need to go anywhere else. This is the textbook we're going to be using. It's the 9th edition of Contemporary Mathematics, Consumer Mathematics. Anyway, you select this, it'll bring you to Canvas and you can register for the book. To navigate the class, as I mentioned, there's the menu on the left over here that you can see, but you don't have that on a phone or tablet. So this is what it looks like on a phone or tablet. If you just select the little down arrow next to the glasses in the top right corner, it'll open up this same main menu that you see to the left. Then there's getting started. So here's the steps that you need to take to get started. Number 1, you need to read the syllabus. So make sure you click that, download it, or read the one that I emailed to you earlier in the week. Watch the welcome video. That's what you're doing now. You want to definitely take the Business 20 pre-test. So this is a test made up of some of the questions that you're going to be learning how to do. Now, you may not know them, so that's fine. Just do your best that you can. You'll be taking the same exam at the end of the class to see what you've learned. So just take that, do your best, and it's 10 questions long. Then there's a mandatory check-in assignment. This must be done within the first week of class to remain in the class. So make sure you do this. It's an introduction. You're just introducing yourself and you're acknowledging that you've read the syllabus. So you can do that by selecting this right here, or you can go to the modules page, and it's the first coursework assignment under the modules page. Again, another option here to get the textbook. If you want to order it from Amazon or you want to order it from the Norco College bookstore, you can. You can get the hard copy. Don't pay for any access codes, just get the book. Or you can just get the ebook. And then get started is the next one. So just get started on module number 1. I also have a schedule down here of every week what we'll be covering. So you can look ahead and see what we're going to be covering in week 1, week 2, etc. It's the same as what's on the module page. So that's pretty much it for the Start Here button and getting you started, I'm going to go ahead and select home here, and I'm going to go back to the home page, and I'm going to go ahead and select module number 1, since that's where we're going to be starting. And I want to go over this with you. This is very important. So at the top of the module page, you have a return to the home page. If you ever want to go back, you can also select up here. But in a phone or tablet, you can use that link. It'll bring you back to the home page. There's a Canvas helps right here. And that is very helpful if you've never used Canvas and your first time logging in. Also, there's an ebook link right here. So once you've registered for the ebook, you just click this link and it'll bring you right to the ebook so you can read it. And it usually will take you right to where you left off reading, which is kind of nice. And then we get into module number 1. So this is week number 1. It's not all coursework, but there's study helps here. So if you see here, it says read me first. So again, make sure you watch the welcome video. Make sure you read the how to prepare to complete this course successfully. And then read me first puts everything into context of a business. Now, the way this class is designed is it's all surrounding Sienna's health and fitness. And so it is a health and fitness store that sells supplements and weights and weight belts and all kinds of stuff. And so you're going to see a business math through the lens of this particular business. So you'll make sure you want to read the read me first and then the meet Sienna's, and Sienna's is going to explain what the business is that you're going to be doing business math for. So every week you have a read me first and a help Sienna. The read me first puts these concepts you're going to learn that particular week in the context of business, how it fits into business, and then the read me help Sienna is going to show you how these problems are going to help Sienna solve business problems. So make sure you read both of those every week. In fact, you can't do any of the coursework until you've marked these as done. So you definitely need to go in, review them, and then mark them as done. And then that opens up the ability to do the coursework. Other than the initial mandatory check-in assignment, I think that one you can do no matter what, but either way. So then you have a study page for each chapter. So each study page is built separately. It has an explanation of the concepts. It has the area of the textbook that you should be reviewing and studying. It has a PowerPoint presentation right here, and then it has some YouTube videos on each of the different functions that you are learning. Now, this first week, I didn't do any teaching video because it's all pretty simple and self-explanatory. It's all review stuff, so hopefully you know how to do it. If you don't, there are some YouTube videos here to help you with it. But each week there is a study page. Now that's for chapter 3. Now again, there's 3 chapters in the first week. So chapter 4 is checking accounts. And so there is a video of me working out some problems on both chapters 4 and 5. There's the areas of chapter 4 to study. There's a PowerPoint, and then there's again some YouTube videos. So that's how each study page is designed and laid out. Each chapter has its own study page, and some weeks you're studying 3 chapters, some weeks you're studying 2 chapters, but either way, the study page will help you tremendously. So don't ignore the study page. They've been built for your help. And then in chapter 5, there's also areas of the textbook that you should be reviewing, as well as a video of me. It's the same video that you find under chapter 4. And then there's some YouTube help and PowerPoint as well for chapter 5. So that was what you need to do then is read these 2, then work through the different study pages. Make sure you understand the concepts. You've hopefully already did your mandatory check-in assignment and your mandatory pre-test assignment. So then all you're going to be focusing on in week number 1 is taking the quiz for chapter 1. This one's going to be 10 questions with questions based out of chapters 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to start your first case study, and this has to do with chapter 4 on banking. But basically, you're going to be helping Sienna pick a bank in which she wants to use for her checking account. And there's different terms for each of the different banks. So you need to tell me which one is the best choice out of those 4. And so that's week number 1. And then we'll get into week number 2 on next week's video. But they're all laid out the same. You have a read me first, you have a help Sienna, you have some study pages, and then there's even going to be coming up a formula sheet for you to use. It has all the formulas for that week's work in it, so you might want to print that out every week. And then it has the coursework, and the coursework is going to also be very similar. You're going to do some kind of a check-in assignment, some kind of a quiz, and then you're going to be working on the case study that'll be due every 2 weeks. So that's pretty much how the course is laid out. So go ahead and get started now that you've watched this video. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I do have office hours, as I mentioned, so you can join me in my office hours. And I will be offering, starting next week, a Zoom session on Thursdays that will, it's listed right here. So starting next week, I'll have a Zoom session that you can join me in. And that Zoom session, I will be going over how to work out some of the problems within the chapters that we're going to be looking at that week. So students, usually get a dozen or so students that join me for that, and they found it to be very helpful. Usually they tune in again each week because they found it to be helpful. But you can also watch the videos that I've recorded. They're also very similar. So anyway, so that's it. Have a great first week. If you need any help, again, reach out to me. If not, you will all see me on a video next week. You'll be getting on Monday morning, and I'll be going over a little bit of